What's going on everyone, this is Kedar here. Today in this video on California's inflation relief checks, and we are talking about California's gas tax rebate, middle class tax refund debit cards. And don't do this mistake, this is gonna cost you a lot of things going on, and there are lots of updates regarding California's stimulus checks. And today in this video on California gas tax rebate, there are a lot of people already started receiving the mctr payments, California's middle class tax refund, also California's mctr debit cards. But still, there are some group of people right here in the community ask me this very important question: why don't we have received California's inflation relief checks? Why this mctr payments delayed so much? And where is my gas tax rebate? And honestly, there are a couple of reasons why you may not have received your California's inflation relief checks. And most importantly, what can you do if you still haven't received your payment? Today in this video, I will tell you all the details regarding your California stimulus checks, and we will also go through some of the important reasons why you may have not received your California payments, and what does California's franchise tax board has to say about this delay. Is it all happening due to Halloween, Thanksgiving, and just about crossing the eligibility criteria? You already know that you are qualified for California's inflation relief checks. That doesn't mean you should receive your payment on the payment schedules. There are some reasons why your payment might be delayed or not yet received, and whether it's a direct deposit or debit cards. Today in this video, I'll go through exact details how and when you'll receive your payments, and for some group of people why their payments might be delayed, and finally what they can do about it. So right before we start this video, make sure to check out other videos from our channel, whether it's statewide stimulus update, stimulus check update, latest stimulus packages, over 19 states sending out stimulus checks, and how to activate your mctr debit cards. Make sure to subscribe with all the bell notification turned on to stay updated with new videos we upload every single day. We are committed for your benefits, money, the latest stimulus packages, how they might help you. So make sure to subscribe to our channel with bell notification turned on, and make sure to smash that like button for me. That really helps us pushing out all those videos. And with that being said, let's get right into all the details. Now, if you are still waiting on your California's inflation relief checks, well, there are few reasons why you might not have received your cash yet. And to know when to expect your money, you'll want to double check on how exactly you'll receive your Golden State stimulus check. And if you have already got one from the California's franchise tax board, as per the latest details told by the California's franchise tax board, taxpayers have either forgotten how they received their stimulus check, or they have changed their banking information, which will confuse their timeline and how they will receive their payments. And looks like the direct deposit disbursements are still being rolled out, and these payments will be completed in the month of mid-November, and the debit cards will be then mailed out to all the qualifying taxpayers. Now, as we speak, the inflation relief checks are being still processed, and first we need to check the some of the qualification criteria before we move any forward. So in general, all those qualification criteria will decide whether you'll receive your direct deposit payments or your payment will be mailed out as a debit card, and when exactly are you going to receive your payments. So speaking of the middle class tax refund qualification criteria according to the franchise tax board, let's talk about all the details. So first, you must have filed your 2020 tax returns by October 15th, 2021. So this is the most important criteria. So if you still haven't filed by October 15th, 2021, then you missed out on this very important criteria. Then speaking of the second one, after you file tax return by October 15th, 2021, then you need to meet the California's adjusted gross income requirements. And this CAAGI, that is adjusted gross income levels, might be different for different group of peoples, whether you are married filing jointly, heads of household, or qualifying widower, single or married filing separately. But here you can check for married couples filing jointly, your CAAGI must be $150,000 or less to get up to $1,050 payments, in between $150,000 to $250,000 to get up to $750 payments, and in between $250,000 going all the way up to $500,000 to get up to $600. And those people whose CAAGI is $500,000 or more will be not qualified. And whether you are heads of household or married filing jointly, these payment levels are pretty much the same. But speaking of the single or married couples filing separately, these income levels are somewhat different. So if your CA AGI is $75,000 or less, then you can claim up to $700 payments. If your CA AGI is 75,000 going all the way up to 125,000, then you can claim up to $500 payments. And if your CA AGI is 125,000 going all the way until 250,000, then you can claim $400. And if your CA AGI exceeds $250,000, then you are not qualified for this mctr payments. So considering you meet the California's adjusted gross income requirements, speaking of the next important qualification criteria, well, you are not eligible to be claimed as a dependent in order to receive this California's mctr payments. So if you are considered as a dependent on somebody else's tax filing, then you are not qualified. So make sure to consider this one. Also, you need to be a California resident for 6 months or more of the 2020 tax year. And also, most importantly, you need to be a California resident on the date the payment is being issued. So let's say you are moving out on another state, then these criteria may short. So these are some of the important criteria in order to qualify for your middle class tax refunds. Now coming over to the payment schedule, when you receive your payments, well, the first round of direct deposit payments was already completed on 25th of the October, starting from 7th of the October going all the way until 25th of the October. Those recipients who received Golden State Stimulus 1 and Golden State Stimulus 2, they already received direct deposit payments between these important dates. So first round of payments already completed on 25th of the October 2022. And in those payments, the remaining direct deposit payments will occur between 28th of the October 2022 going all the way until November 14th 2022. So if you are still missing out on your payment from the first rounds of payments, then continue to watch your payment until November 14th 2022. And speaking of mctr direct deposit recipients who have changed their banking information since 2020 tax filing, well, those group of recipients will receive their debit cards, and the debit cards will be mailed between 17th of the December 2022 going all the way until January 14th 2023. So continue to watch starting from 17th of the December going all the way until next year, which is January 14th 2023. That's where you are going to receive your debit cards. And speaking of the mctr debit card payments for Californians who have received Golden State Stimulus 1 or 2 in the previous year, well, the debit card for those people are expected to mail between 24th of the October 2022 and going all the way until December 10th 2022. So if you are Golden State Stimulus recipients, continue to watch starting from 24th of the October going all the way until 10th of the December 2022. And in these rounds of payments, some payment may be still remaining to be sent out. So the remaining debit cards for Golden State Stimulus recipients will be mailed by January 14, 2023 as per the latest details by Franchise Tax Board. And now let's go over through some of the important dates, and we will go through some of the important payment schedules all in its chronological order. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So speaking of the direct deposit payments, well, the first round has already finished on 25th of the October, so that's done. Speaking of the non-Golden State Stimulus recipient, well, their direct deposit payments will go out starting from 28th of the October going all the way until 14th of the November 2022. And now coming over to the next important details, the debit card payments. We have received new debit card mailing timeframes. Let's check out all the important dates. So speaking of the debit card payments, first we will talk about all those Golden State Stimulus recipients, those who have received Golden State Stimulus in the previous year and their last name begins with A to E characters. Those recipients will get payments starting from 24th of the October going all the way until 5th of the November 2022. So if your last name begins with A to E, continue to watch your payments until 5th of the November 2022. Similarly, if your last name begins with F to M, for those group of recipients, your debit card will be mailed out starting from 6th of the November going all the way until 19th of the November 2022. So if your last name begins with F to M, then continue to watch starting from 6th of the November going all the way until 19th of the November 2022. Speaking of the next group of recipient whose last name begins with N to V characters, they will start receiving their debit cards from 20th November 2022 2022 going all the way until 3rd of the December 2022. If your last name begins with N to V, then continue to watch until 3rd of the December 2022 for your debit cards to be mailed out. For last group of recipients whose last name begins with W to Z characters, well, those group of recipients will start receiving their debit cards starting from 4th of the December 2022 going all the way until 10th of the December 2022. All those recipients whose last name begins with W to Z characters continue to watch until 10th of the December 2022. And coming over to the non-golden state stimulus recipients, if your last name begins with A to K characters, you'll start receiving your debit cards starting from 5th of the December 2022 going all the way through 17th of the December 2022 as per the latest payment schedule. So this is the very important date announced by California's franchise tax board. And speaking of the next important date for non-golden state stimulus recipients, if your last name begins with L to Z characters, your debit card mailing timeframes will be announced after 21st of the November 2022. And for those group of recipients who are on their way to receive direct deposit and they have changed their banking information since 2020 filing, they will get their payment starting from 17th of the December going all the way until 14th of the January 2023. So continue to watch until 14th of the January 2023 to get your payments if you have changed any information. Now, despite all these payment schedules, all those important dates, what can you do if you think you are qualified for the California's middle class tax refund and if you didn't have received your payments? Well, in that scenario, let's say if you qualify for direct deposit payments as per the guidelines, you may don't receive these payments by November 2022. So there are two options what you can do. So first, you can consult to your 2020 CA tax return to re-verify for your eligibility. So the chances are your tax returns might not have considered eligible and that's why your payment might have delayed. So therefore, you need to contact the middle class tax refund customer support line on this important number, which is 800-542-9332. So make sure you give it a call on this mctr customer support helpline onto this number, and make sure to hit that like button for me. That really helps out pushing out all these videos. Do check out this very important video on how to activate your mctr debit card. Make sure to subscribe with all the bell notification turn on to stay updated with new videos we upload every single day. Thank you so much for watching this video till then, and this is Kedar from How to Guys signing out.